What's up, everybody? Appreciate you all for joining the channel. Hussein Riz Trader, HRT here. Today, we're gonna go through few lessons, 3 lessons particularly that I've experienced this week, these past few days, and I hope that you find it valuable. Here we go. Here's the first lesson. All right, when it comes to trading, successful trading is basically 90% waiting, right? Are you able to wait? Are you patient? You know, it sounds easy, right? It sounds easy, but once you also understand that trading involves, a big portion of trading involves emotion, yeah, it's actually not easy. You know what I mean? And so this is a very big lesson that you need to understand and like grasp, you know, and that's waiting. You know, the ability to have one particular strategy, right? And every day you sit back, you relax, and only you trade when that strategy comes. Sounds logical and very easy, but you know, you will be tested. You know, that waiting ability will be tested. You know, and so that's what has happened to me, especially today. Right? Today we had the FOMC meeting, and I knew that my setup may not come today based on how the market will respond. I don't think I'll see my setup today. And I was right throughout that whole trading of the whole day. I didn't see my setup. But guess what I did? I took a trade. I took 3 trades. Did you hear that? Yeah, I did. And so I made a mistake, right? I couldn't wait. You know what I mean? I couldn't just sit back, relax, and not force a trade and not chase a trade, right? I traded a setup that was not my setup. Well, technically it was, but it was outside of my setup. I hope that makes sense. But although it was my setup, but it was outside. So technically it's not my setup. So even right now, I'm still emotionally affected by it. You know what I mean? I'm behind it with y'all. And so it was weird, but keep that in mind, right? Successful trading, 90% of it is trading. The ability to not force a trade and not chase and not rush, and simply being patient. You know, that patientness is going to take you extremely far with your level of journey in trading. If you don't have that, you're not going to go far in trading, and you're going to be among the statistics that drop out. So it's important that right off the bat, have a system that you know, have a trading edge, a system that has a high probability, have an edge that has a high probability, and then after that, have that patience to only trade that, right? And so that's the first one. Here's the second lesson I've learned this week in trading. Bad days are part of day trading. Did you hear that? Yeah. Bad days are actually part of day trading. Losing money is part of the business of day trading. You know, what other field where the business of it is to lose? Of course, you don't want to lose money, but it comes with it. You know, trading is a probability, right? Trading is simply a probability where you have a set probability that you know, of an edge that has a set, you know, percentage. You're gonna trade that, and you have no control. Once you hit that trade, you have no control on what probability you're gonna get. But if your probability is high, you're gonna just leave it to the probability, and let's just call it that. Get your emotions out. Once you hit the trade, you're done, right? You have no control of the outcome, right? You have no control of the outcome. So because of that, that outcome also means you may lose this money. So every trade you enter, you have to keep that in mind. All right, cool. There's a set probability that I'm also gonna lose this. And if I do, if the trade doesn't go against, if the trade goes against me, where's my stop loss? What is my rule? Where do I get out? Etc. 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 And so with that said, you have to accept that every trade you do make, accept that it could be a bad trade, and you have no control. You have no control in fixing that part, right? And so keep that in mind, right? Losing money is part of the business. And so with that said, accept that and just relax, right? And every time you take a trade, allow the probability to take over. Once you hit the click button to hit the trade, now after that, relax. Like, you have no control. Don't worry about it, right? Let the probability do its thing. If your age is 60%, let the probability do its thing. All right, cool. Keep that in mind, right? And here's the last lesson. The more you trade, the more you discover things about yourself. Things about yourself that you would have been like, what in the world? I didn't know this about myself. And I can confidently say that I don't know if there's any other place you'll experience the things in which trading reveals about you. You know what I mean? So you will learn some things about yourself that it's like, whoa, you know. And one of the things I've learned about myself is that I found myself, I'm making the same mistake multiple times, and it usually takes a greater large mistake time, right? Then I don't do it again. But in real life, I'm not like that. You know what I mean? In real life, if I make a mistake, you know, the second time is fixed, the third time is fixed. That's it. It doesn't, like, I don't repeat it again and again. But yet I found myself that in trading, I tend to repeat the mistake every time. I'm like, what? How long is it gonna take? And then finally, after a longer period of time and many times of that same mistake being made, I don't do it again. So I asked myself, why is that? So then I learned that, wait a minute, when my emotions are involved, I tend to make the same mistake again. Even though I know it. There are times where logically and everything, I can even recall the days that I made that mistake and what was going on that day. And I'm facing the same circumstance, and I know this, and I'm about to now take that action that led me to that mistake. And I do it. So that told me, whoa, I'm emotionally, I don't have a control on my emotion. That's what I've learned, right? That's what I've learned. I don't have really good control of my emotion. And so through time and time, I worked on that, right? I started journaling. I started like, whoa, I just found out about myself that I'm not I don't have a, full grasp of my emotion that I always thought I did. And I don't know if I would have ever discovered this had I not started trading. So with that all said, I hope you found these three lessons very valuable, right? The first one is what? Successful trading is 90% of waiting, right? So with that said, don't force a trade, don't rush, be very patient. The second one is bad days are part of trading, right? You will experience bad days. Don't give up. I'm telling you, look at that bad day and see, what did I do wrong? Journal it, and what can I do better next time? Because now, guess what's going to happen? The same set of circumstances is going to happen again. But this time, you know what to do. You're going to do a different action you did to incur that mistake. And then boom, that's how you move forward, right? And so that's that. And so let go of the idea of controlling the outcome. Because once you hit a trade, that's it. You have no control after what happens after that, all right? So relax a bit. Trade, losing money is part of it, so cool off on that, right? And lastly, the more you trade, the more you discover about yourself. So go ahead and put in the comment, what are some of the things you discovered about yourself ever since in your journey in trading? I'd love to know that. So with that all said, HRT out.